Tribal Combat between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso for the WWE Universal Undisputed Championship. Roman Reigns taking the win, especially after getting help from no one else, no other than anyone else. Jimmy Uso coming out to screw over his own brother, his own flesh and blood, out of a championship match. What do you guys think about that and how that impacted in possibly where we're going from it?
Where's The Rock?
I have another question as far as this goes. because I saw a lot of mixed commentary online in regards to this match, and some of it kind of pissed me off. One question for you two gentlemen. After the result of this match, do you guys think the Bloodline storyline has jumped the shark?
For me, it's just
because I don't think it has. I don't think it has at all.
No, I don't know. For me, when I saw the Jay thing, it was like I don't know. It's like I felt it happening, and then once you see it, you're like, okay. So now it's just gonna be Jimmy versus Jay. They're gonna drag this on. We're gonna see every week talk about their family, their brothers, this and that. And I'm like, do I really want to see that? Not really, but it'll still elevate the both of them. I'm sure it'll be great storytelling, but then it's like, if they're feuding, what does that leave Roman and Solo? Does Roman just go get a new challenger now? And then it's just like, I don't know. It's like they're detaching themselves kind of from the story, because if they're feuding, it's like, okay, well, is it going to be like, oh, whoever beats between them is going to get a shot at Roman, I guess? I don't know. I think I'm just more trying to figure out long term. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do a whole fatal 4-way thing like we talked about, or it could be a triple threat, and then you have Rikishi, trying to mediate with all his sons and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm just if they do it right, I'll be happy with it. But I don't know. I'm not seeing the clear vision for it, I guess.
And I definitely get where you're coming from. Lewis. But that's one of the reasons why I feel like it hasn't jumped the shark, because now what you're getting is now they're taking the Uso brothers, and now they're branching them off, kind of turning them into essentially single stars with this feud against one another. And now it's going to be more about who wants to be the tribal chief, because now it's every man for themselves. I mean, it started off with all four of them together. Then the tag team broke off, and you had the tag team feuding with them. Now one member of the tag team feels that they should get that tribal title. It's like, yeah, you my twin, you challenge for it. Now I want to challenge for it. I want to be the guy. And since you're technically you're kind of responsible for me getting that ass whooping in the first place, I want that top. Now I want that top spot, and now I don't care if I have to go through you to get it. So even if you are my brother, so from that standpoint, I can definitely see that the storyline is going in that direction, and obviously I think people at this point when it comes to Roman Reigns, because they see like how these finishes have all been pretty much revolved around the same finish for like the last year and a half or so, with pretty much a bloodline member getting involved to help win. Psychology-wise, he's a heel. That's what the heel is supposed to do. But at the same time, we've had 3 years of this now, to the point where people are just like, man, we want to lose now, because it's been only because it's been 3 years of it. I mean, if this had been like 3 or 4 months, I think people would be into it. But because it's been 3 years, this is
what I was saying before SummerSlam. I'm like, you're really gonna drag this all on Roman still being champ with this whole bloodline thing all the way to WrestleMania?
Yes.
I think yes. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Like, realistically,
this is not me being impatient, but it's just like, yes, we've gotten the whole bloodline story of them together being dominant, conquering, blah blah blah. We had WrestleMania. Boom, they lost the tag titles. Boom, now you got Jay going after, you had the whole Sammy thing going on, whatever. Now there's the Usos are basically out, but now the Usos are feuding. So then it's like, okay, then at some point I guarantee we're gonna get Solo, and then it's like, and then at the end it's basically not even gonna be any of them. But it's not gonna be any of them though because they're saying
that's how it should be.
I don't know. I think it's too.
Okay, but
I don't know.
So like, back to Brian's original question, how I feel about this setup. I do understand Jimmy doing it, and I've been saying this for a couple months now, that they should have a fatal 4-way at Survivor Series with a family member in each corner, and then that should be the end of it. Like, that should be where the ending happens. That's where how it should come out. Now, how they get there now. If Jimmy just turns around and says, "Hey, I'm back in the bloodline. I'm with the tribal chief because the elders said so." That's another possibility I've been thinking in my head. Like, maybe he's saying the elders said you got to stay with Roman Reigns. They picked Roman Reigns over Jay, whatever the case may be. But it's like, I don't want to see any correlation of that. I want everybody to be isolated. Like, Jay is his own man, Jimmy's his own man, and Jimmy basically being like, I want to be the tribal chief. I want to be the head of the table. I want to have that title. That's how it should be. And I feel like that's probably the best way of doing it. And now let me speak to the Jey Uso people who thought he should win the title and end the storyline and all that. You guys wanted Sami Zayn to do it. And that wasn't happening. You guys wanted Cody Rhodes to happen. We all wanted Cody Rhodes to happen. That didn't happen.
Yes.
Now we want Jay to do it. And it's like, I don't see. I showed you that report where they said, hey, they had no intentions of having Jay win it. Obviously, they didn't. And I feel like the fans, again, this match kind of did a little. If the match was fast paced and epic, I think it would have added a little bit more to the story. But because the match dragged, reportedly Roman got hurt early on in the match, or whatever the case, that kind of slowed down things a little bit. So to see that outcome happen where it didn't look like at any point that Jay was actually close to winning significantly, like it wasn't a high intensity battle, and then he got him to a point where Roman was actually going to be done, and it's like, yeah, he got the splash and stuff like that, but it's like, I don't think at any point everybody was like, oh, Jay's going to walk out of here with that title. In my head, I was just like, there's no way they're doing that. And maybe if the fight was a little bit more fast paced and hard hitting, and I just thought about, like, I just instantly, of course, I don't think these are the level of performers. It's not Austin Rock at WrestleMania 17 where every point of that match was just like, God damn, like, I don't know how much these guys have left. I never felt like that where, even though the match was dragged out and it was hard hitting and they were trying to do things to get it over, it just never reached that level. And I feel like the crowd, of course, I don't know. Again, the Detroit Lions fans, whatever you guys are doing, like, you gotta have to at least show some type of emotion.
You're gonna get some hate for that.
It wasn't all people from Detroit. I'm pretty sure other people from like other states and other countries flew in for this.
What, Chicago and Milwaukee? No, they're in Detroit. I'm giving the blame to Detroit on this one.
Dan just likes to blame somebody for everything.
Right. But Daniel
put the blame on somebody.
To what you just said, in regards to the storyline about you mentioned Sami Zayn and you mentioned Jey Uso, and you mentioned how the storyline was so hot for those guys at the time that common sense from the fans would say that you got to go with these guys and put the title on them. WWE has had this mentality for years of not immediately giving you what you want. You want to know why? Because if they give you what you want, where the fuck do they go from there? If Sami Zayn had beat Roman Reigns in that Elimination Chamber with WrestleMania right around the corner, what the fuck would we have had? We would have had Sami against Cody for the title at WrestleMania.
That would have been beautiful.
Sami Zayn, but at WrestleMania,
that would have been beautiful. That would have been beautiful.
You would think that the story is strong enough for it, but this is WrestleMania we're talking about. And now Jey Uso, if he had won at SummerSlam, where would the Bloodline storyline have gone then? Because Roman's no longer champion. Jay is on top. Roman was conquered.
Let me tell you where that would have went. Think about SummerSlam 2004 when Randy Orton had one of the best performances of his career. as a young performer and beat Chris Benoit for the title. And what did they do directly after that?
They made him a baby.
That's exactly where it would have went.
And it was the fucking horrible decision.
But Jay,
I don't think Jey Uso would have said. I don't think he would have said suckering succotash, but it would have been the same effect. Like they would have just put that belt right back on Roman.
You could have you could have done the same thing if you had Jay win. You could have had Jimmy come out and then turn on him. Boom, that's your first feud.
No. Now we're gonna have Jimmy and Jay at Payback for the title. Like,
yeah, why not? Why not?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Daniel,
I'm just saying again.
Yeah, Daniel, you laugh, but that match is gonna happen at Payback, not for the title, but it's gonna happen, and that's gonna be one of their main events.
No,
but this is what I'm saying.
It's gonna be in the main event.
I'm saying.
I'm not doubting
what is gonna be the outcome of them just going against each other for no title, no nothing? I'm just
saying.
I'm gonna get to fight Tribal Chief.
That's Jimmy and Jay are that's just a blood feud at this point. That's like Matt Hardy versus Jeff. Like,
but this is what I'm saying. Like if you have some type of prize or some type of if they make it a thing, like with their beef and whoever wins is gonna get a shot at Roman. It's like, I don't know. I feel like you're not gonna do Jay again. Then you do Jimmy. You really think Jimmy's gonna fight
an actual number one contenders match on a pay-per-view? Say it ain't so.
I don't know. I'm just
number one contenders match.
For me, it's just like, okay, you have them feuding. Where does that leave Roman? Yeah, you don't have to have Roman at Payback. And if that's the other wrench in the thing. If he's legitimately injured and it's a serious injury and he's out till wherever, now we got a situation where we have like a Brock thing where the title is just not even on TV. We don't see it. We don't know who's going to challenge.
I'm fine with that because I'm fine with that because I feel like there's enough. I feel like there's enough where SmackDown could have an opportunity now to actually put other people on the card and build them up. You can have Jay and Jimmy basically blood feud for like 2 months, 3 months, and carry that program or whatever the case may be. You can actually start the integration of the SmackDown tag titles and have a tournament that can carry that over the couple of months.
How long have I been asking for that? How long have I been asking for that? WrestleMania.
I think we've all been asking for this since WrestleMania. Yeah.
My God.
Since WrestleMania, like there's other things that
new titles yet.
Add some.
They
actually add some prestige.
Kevin Owens to go take care of that rib injury and just relinquish the titles. I don't know what they're waiting on.
And you know the crazy thing is that
right now.
And you know the crazy thing is like the tag teams are actually looking good right now. Chad and Otis, Street Profits are back. Fucking Viking Raiders are actually kind of getting wins randomly.
The New Day is back.
The New Day is back. I don't know what's going on with the OC.
The Brawling Brutes.
The Brawling Brutes. You got plenty of tag teams in there. And it's just like nothing. I don't know. I just don't want to be a situation like that. Roman's gone because he's injured, and then you have nobody going for that main event status because they're all just going to be in limbo. Or
you want to know what they do? They finally put the rocket ship on Austin Theory and let him main event. The United States title is the main title now for a couple months.
Get the title off of him, please.
I believe he faces Santos Escobar either this SmackDown or the next. I can't remember. I think it's
Luz, you're not excited about that match? You're not excited that a fellow Latino has a chance to win the United States title? That doesn't mean something? I mean, that doesn't mean something. I mean,
the United States title.
We haven't even
seen LWO.
We haven't even seen him on TV. I don't know.
Santos LWO has been featured for the last couple of weeks.
He's
I
on
know.
NXT too.
I'm just saying.
He was on NXT last night.
if anything, they shouldn't do that match on a SmackDown. Save it for the next pay-per-view at least. Like, get it on a damn pay-per-view.
I don't know why that wasn't on SummerSlam. That should have been on SummerSlam.
Should have.
Instead of showing promos of Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch, that should have been on SummerSlam.
I don't know.
That should have been on SummerSlam. But yeah, I just felt like this match. How did you guys feel about the match? Like, it just dragged on, right? Like, I'm not the only one that thought that. Like, it was just slow paced.
The pacing was just off. That's all.
When they went into the crowd, I was like, what are we gonna do out here? Oh, like there's a table. Put them through the table. Bring him back in. It's like, yo, wrap it up. Like the Dave Chappelle box, like, wrap it up.
All right, but yeah, I just think it was just a slower pace match. I don't know if that was the match is the mentality, but it was just slower pace. I don't know if that was what they were intending to do, to have a slower pace match based upon how the story was playing out. But one thing that I wish that they would have done, I know they did it with the hype video that they showed, the promo package with the tribal combat. I kind of wish that they would have kind of somewhat elaborated on it more, because when Solo Sikoa got involved, we all knew it was coming. We all knew that they had said that it was anything goes and such. But if this is tribal combat, what makes tribal combat different than from, let's say, a Falls Count Anywhere or a no DQ match? Like what like this? Like if they had differentiated it. Because then once Solo got involved, some people were just like, "Oh, well, this isn't tribal combat. This is pretty much just your average Roman Reigns match now."
Again, another perfectly explained this is the
bloodline for Jey Uso.
Yeah,
yeah, that would have been cool if they added something to it, like a stipulation or something, like nobody This is another thing. When they did the tribal combat, right? When they shook hands and stuff like that, didn't Roman Reigns stop Solo from attacking Jey?
Yep.
And he did the super kick, and they both basically like embraced each other and put their heads together. What is Solo doing interfering in the match? It should have been one-on-one if that was the case. Apparently. That's what I was thinking. It should
help out his fellow tribal chief.
And then
I don't know.
And then if Jimmy interfered, it would have been like, oh shit. Like, okay. Mm-hmm. So Solo's involvement probably wasn't needed. That's probably what it meant. Like, if they would have just had Jimmy interfere at the end, shit.
And
this is supposed to be sacred tribal type stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is the thing. They've already hinted so much at Solo basically turning on Roman. It's like, I don't know. It's like when it happens.
When's it gonna happen?
Like, when it happens, we're gonna be like, I don't know. For me, it's gonna be like, oh shit, we didn't see this coming. Like, I don't know. I feel like we're definitely gonna see it coming firsthand. But right now, I don't know when it's gonna happen, because this is what I'm saying. You have Jimmy and Jey feuding. What reason does Solo need to get involved with them at all? You know. So that just leaves, where does it, and if Roman's out, where does that leave Solo?
I mean, that's little brother. I mean, that's still little brother though. Little brother watching his older brothers go at it.
He's been taking both of them out.
Here we go. Here we go. If Roman is hurt, I mean, I doubt they're going to vacate the title, right? If they did vacate the title, and now Jimmy and Jey are like, hey, we get the right to
the triple threat makes more sense then.
Mm-hmm.
And then Solo's like, I got to protect the family honor. I got to protect Roman Reigns. I'm entering the match. That's a way they can put him in there. That ends in that ends in nothing. And then that sets up Survivor Series.
No, I'm saying
get our Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Long-term booking.
But that makes sense if Roman's out. If he's not out, why would you have that?
Yeah, I know that's the part I like. Nobody knows is I don't know. WWE wasn't able to cover up Sonya Deville's injury, but they're able to cover up Roman Reigns' injury quite well.
Yeah,
we should have known. We should have known what that injury was.
Some shit. How does TMZ get that, but not Roman?
WWE injuries.
Exactly. See,
like, how did they get that before?
It's probably the doctors Sonya went to go see. We're like, hey, TMZ.
It's like, can you give me 20,000?
I'm gonna tell you the scoop. Basically,
Sonya's hurt. But yeah, that's just my rant. I'm just with all this stuff going on. I'm just like, we know Sonya's hurt, but it's like we don't know Roman Reigns' injury, not even a little bit, not even WWE saying Roman Reigns sustained like a rib injury or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But who knows? They'll figure it out. But the Bloodline storyline has been going on for a long time, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get it for the next couple of months until Survivor Series, hopefully where they are listening and do the Fatal 4-Way and have a banger. That's what they should do. So hopefully they're heading that way.
Mm-hmm.
We can get in